Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alkriki and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
In the news tonight, electoral process transparent and credible, says MOG. Transport to be provided for polling tomorrow. An official count continues for 2018 general election.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The multinational observer group has observed and evaluated that the 2018 general election process to date has been transparent and credible in an interim findings released this afternoon. The MOG members have witnessed electoral preparations, pre-polling, election day polling, counting and tabulation of results so far. Akusita Tale with more details.
The Fijian Elections Office has received praises from the multinational observer group that they believe Fijians were able to exercise their right to vote freely, and the outcome is on track to reflect the will of Fijian voters.
The wet weather conditions on election day did make it difficult for many voters. However, all election stakeholders, especially the Fijian Elections Office, did their best to encourage voters to turn out to vote, and we commend them for that. Our observers also noted the strong enthusiasm amongst the voters who battled the rain to turn out to vote.
The MOG has also praised the Elections Office decision to close 22 polling venues on election day due to bad weather, even though it may have been a difficult call to make.
We believe, though that it was the correct decision. While it is disruptive to the process, the safety of voters has to be the paramount concern. If voters or election officials had been injured due to decision to leave the venues open, it would have been unacceptable.
This decision complies with electoral laws and international good practice. The MOG also observed that despite some minor inconsistencies at some polling stations in how certain electoral procedures were followed by presiding officers, this did not in any way affect the outcome of the electoral process.
In all of these observations, the MOG saw no evidence of wrongdoing and is of the view the process was carried out professionally.
The multinational observer group says Fijians should have confidence in the conduct of the electoral procedures. Meanwhile, the MOG will issue a final report containing recommendations following the conclusion of all electoral processes. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The Fijian Elections Office will provide transportation to assist 7,498 voters who are expected to cast their votes tomorrow. These Fijians will be voting in 22 venues which had to suspend voting on Wednesday because of heavy rain and flooding in their respective areas. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says buses, FEO vehicles and 3-ton trucks will be among the transportation used to take voters to the 25 polling stations tomorrow.
For the Shantini Ketan Pathshala, the Fijian Elections Office has organized 3-ton trucks in these areas that will cart people, and they will start from 7 a.m. and will go right up until 6 p.m. on tomorrow actually. And similarly for Naisongo Settlement Ground Shed, the 3-ton trucks that will be clearly marked Elections Office transport or elections transport. Election bus and election vehicle. These transports will be available from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Saneem also reiterates that those who cast their votes on Wednesday in the affected areas will have to re-vote on Saturday.
Any voter that had already voted on 14th of November at any of these venues will still have to vote again. That means that if your finger is already containing indelible ink, you will still be allowed entry into the polling places so that you can mark your ballot paper. On that note, you will have to ink another finger.
Polling stations will be open in these areas from 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. Maggie Boyle joins us live now from Ladala Bay. Maggie, what's the latest as the Fijian Elections Office continue with the counting process?
Good evening, Jackie. Well, 48 hours since election day, and I'm here, of course, with Mohammed Saneem, the supervisor of elections, to get an update. Saneem, can you tell us where we are in terms of the results tally?
Well, we've already announced the results for the 1,500 or so polling stations from election night, and that is the provisional results. And then we started data entry for the final results into the result management system. So, so far we have managed to release around 885 polling stations, 985 polling stations. Well, pardon me, 885 polling stations, and we will continue to gradually add this to the final tally. There is polling happening tomorrow, so the Fijian Elections Office does not want to rush in and release all the results because we want to make sure that people who are voting tomorrow appreciate that the vote carries equal weight to any vote that's currently in the tally, and that is why we're releasing results at 6-hourly intervals to facilitate that very principle.
Insofar as the venues, 22 venues, 25 polling stations that will be open tomorrow for these affected areas that were rained out, you had contingency plans put in place with regards to that. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Well, tomorrow, first of all, the Fijian Elections Office is organized free transport for any voter who is voting in those scheduled polling venues. If your name is not in that venue, you will not get free transport to that venue. The Fijian Elections Office also will relocate the venue in the event there is any flooding or any chance of flooding. But tomorrow it looks like it will be clear, and with transport provided, voters should be able to access the polling venues early in the day. So we anticipate minimum issues from the weather events tomorrow.
Just lastly, Sydney, the Multinational Observer Group have put out an initial report on what they've observed so far, and they've given it a tick. Your response?
Well, the Fijian Elections Office welcomes the interim statement. We note that this is the interim statement and that the Multinational Observer Group will be giving us a final statement together with their findings as well as the issues that they found, if they have any. And of course, we will evaluate all the recommendations that come to, and we'll be making our statement once we get it. But I'd like to thank the Multinational Observer Group for their very comprehensive observation program. It's a very large observer group in comparison to neighboring countries where we've observed with 5 to 10 observers. And so Fiji should be finding itself as very fortunate to have a large observer group with such good endorsements for the election. And I hope that the general election results, once it is final, will first time see a maturity in the election process with the concession made, hopefully. This is how mature democracies work, and let's see how we go.
Thank you, Saneem. We'll leave it there. Jackie.
Voters from parts of Tailevu, Naitasiri, Levuka and Rakiraki who were affected by the rainy weather on polling day will finally get the chance to vote tomorrow. And with rain forecast for some areas in the Central Division, the Fiji Elections Office has a Plan B. Eleanor Tarangaivu with the details.
For the first time in Fiji's election history, some voters will be casting their vote after Elections Day. Section 47 of the Electoral Act allows for the adjournment of voting due to unforeseen circumstances.
We will be using freshly printed ballot papers as well as new ballot boxes to facilitate elections at these venues, and voters can come and vote between the hours of 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The Weather Office is predicting some rain in parts of the Central Division tomorrow. Supervisor of Elections Mohammed Saneem says, should the weather situation worsen, they will move the polling stations to higher ground, but he is confident this will not be the case.
Yes, the contingency will be there, but for the moment, because we are providing significant amount of transport, voters should be able to access. As you saw, we are using 3-ton trucks in some of these locations, so we should be able to take voters across.
Observers will be assigned to the polling stations to oversee the electoral process.
Our observers will be deployed once again tomorrow for the vote and count at these locations.
16 polling stations will be open for voting in parts of Tailevu tomorrow, 2 polling stations for voters in Ovalau, 2 stations as well in Naitasiri, and 5 polling stations in Rakiraki. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
With 7,498 voters expected to cast their vote tomorrow, Police Chief of Operations Martin Ongiolevu says officers will be patrolling to ensure the safety of those voting. Catherine Krishna reports.
29 police officers have been deployed to provide the needed help for those casting their votes tomorrow.
All these police officers have been informed and are ready to be there by 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, okay, to be at all the polling venues.
ACP Maratino Ngiolevu is urging people living in these flood-prone areas to remain vigilant.
If you come in, if it is raining, just bring your umbrella along, bring your raincoat, okay, and try to cast your vote quickly. We are all responsible adults. Okay, try to monitor the weather situations. Okay, we have the presiding officers out there who will be advising and guiding us along.
ACP Ngiolevu is urging the voters to cooperate and ensure the process is conducted smoothly. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
We now join Anna Ravulo, who is at the National Count Centre with the latest results. Anna.
Jackie, the latest official results came through the FEO app this afternoon, just a little after 6 p.m. SODELPA continues to maintain the lead in the results by party with 72,695 votes, which is an increase by more than 17,000 votes since midday today. Fiji First appears to be closing the gap in second place with 71,400 votes with a percentage of 44.83. The National Federation Party sits in third place with 10,609 votes, while Unity Fiji has 2,688 votes and is sitting in fourth place. Fiji Labour Party has moved up to fifth place and with 960 votes, and Hope Party is at the end with 950 votes. Turning to results by candidates, Fiji First leader Murengi Bainimarama has been leading for quite some time with 52,906 votes, followed by SODELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka with 29,832 votes. Sitting in third place is Fiji First candidate Ayasad Kayum with 5,312 votes. Fourth place is National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad, who has also moved up a place and has a vote of 3,951 votes. And in fifth place, and the only female candidate, is SODELPA's Linda Tambuya with 3,502 votes. We have been getting updates from the Fijian Elections Office app, and we can expect the next update in 5 to 6 hours time, so stay tuned to FBC TV for that. Jackie.
Still to come, Gander Shipping suspends all services. And police officers remanded on murder charge. Details after the break.
Bula, nevang gomal kay leloma, ngongay nakas on tumakarong ng Bula FM, nambang dua ay nasir.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Lambasa, yung dotalita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua ay nasir.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua ay nasir.
Wala na tuma ng Bula FM, nambang dua ay nasir naman.
Nevang go fane na tao no hinga toka, kita dotalita ka ng Bula FM, nambang dua ay nasir.
Bula FM, nambang dua ay nasir.
Media play an important role in giving clear and correct information to the public when it comes to the coverage of this year's general election. It hasn't been an easy task for the journalists around the country, but they are determined to be on their toes until a government is announced. Anna Ravulo reports.
It's been a long journey for media organizations disseminating results from this year's general election, and the only focus is to give the right information to the public.
The whole team got involved. We got about 150 plus employees, and they did their bit to ensure that we have a successful coverage, to ensure that majority of the people get to listen to what the election's results is about, and we continue to do that this afternoon.
Given the long hours of non-stop coverage, it is also vital for journalists to enjoy their work.
It was one of the most enjoyable experience, I think, for the team. We had a great work ethic from everyone involved, and I think the hard work put in by journalists who followed every ethics and rules to ensure that the coverage that was given to Fijians was of the absolute highest standard.
Maida has described the mainstream media as professionals.
The mainstream media has conducted themselves with utmost professionalism in covering the general elections, and they've done it in the most robust manner. They've ensured full compliance with the requirements of Section 118 of the Electoral Act as it pertains to the blackout period.
We expect a new government to be announced in the next 2 days. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
Gander Shipping Limited has suspended all its shipping services for the next 2 weeks. This directive was issued by Managing Director George Gander following the suspension of his port user identification card by Fiji Ports Limited today. Sainiani Boiler reports.
All Gander shipping services have been suspended effective from tonight.
Yeah, no, the stance that port has taken for me to suspend my service, for me to enter the jetty, that means my vessel will be suspended for 2 weeks till we get this thing uplifted.
Gander claims Fiji Ports Corporation Limited allegedly towed his vessel away from the port to allow room for other vessels to berth. He claims as a result the vessel was damaged.
So we had a few exchange words, no foul language that went across, because I was very upset to see my investment being with ports that they have no concept of how these big ships, We had a meeting yesterday, we came to an agreement that that we'll try to iron things out. That was fine. So this morning I was surprised when I got a love letter from ports suspending me for 2 weeks.
Fiji Ports Corporation Limited Public Relations Officer Losalini Mbolatengivi says Gander has breached instructions given and they will not tolerate it.
We've given him several warnings, and the last warning was issued in February for verbally abusing our staff on the ground, and he's fond of bullying them. We've received continuous complaint from our staff on the ground. Management has decided to take an action for the matter this week. He refused to follow instruction in relation to berthing allocation.
The Gander Shipping Limited provides services to maritime islands including Northern Lau, Kandawu, Lomaiviti and Vanuatu. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
2 police officers charged with murder have had their bail applications denied by the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon. Kelepi Kolinisau and Selema Tikoenamburevere are alleged to have killed Chosua Lalauvaki outside a nightclub in Suva on September 2nd. Lalauvaki died at Colonial War Memorial Hospital last month as a result of injuries allegedly sustained in the assault. Rachel Nuth reports.
2 men were heavily escorted as they left the courthouse, preventing the press from catching them on camera. Earlier, before the magistrate, the defense counsel sought bail on the grounds of the officers' safety because both were involved in investigations of many of those currently in the Suva Remand Center. The counsel also said Kolinisau's wife is pregnant and about to give birth. Meanwhile, the prosecutor objected, stating the grounds did not hold, and the magistrate agreed, informing the court that murder is a serious allegation and the security of the community would be in question if the 2 were released. However, the magistrate instructed the 2 were to be kept separated from the other inmates and for the remand center officer to pay special attention on their security. The prosecution made an application for the matter to be transferred to the Suva High Court as murder is an indictable offence. The magistrate granted approval and the matter will now be called in the Suva High Court on the 30th of this month. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
In an effort to improve water services, various representatives from the Water Authority and partner agencies took part in a 2-week seminar. Trainers from China shared development experience regarding water source analysis and lab practice. Kelly Vavala reports.
Improving management capacity and water resources was one of the major objectives achieved of the seminar.
The training such as this should fully support it and help us understand, expand, and share knowledge of many proper practices in undertaking such working in the laboratories and undertaking proper monitoring and efficient and effective delivery of services.
Power China Zognan Engineering Corporation says they also looked at technology and engineering.
Fiji has plenty of the natural resources, and also water quality is quite good.
Some participants say the seminar was useful.
Learning groundwater resource management, groundwater infiltration, prevention of seawater and administrations of water, wastewater and stormwater. It has been a very informative session for us.
We have a miracle nation with miracle water sources popping up everywhere, and we just need to look after it more.
Infrastructure Ministry Deputy Secretary Ilyas Avonu says Fiji is committed to providing safe and clean drinking water and has invested a lot in this sector. Kelly Vatala, FBC News.
Business Tonight work continues to make tourism a billion-dollar industry. And in growing Fiji, Realby relocates office. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Koroko, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic.
Leading Business Tonight, the objective of the Fijian Tourism Development Plan to position the tourism sector as a $2.2 billion industry is far ahead of time. Permanent Secretary for Tourism Shaheen Ali says income derived from tourism is at an unprecedented level, reaching almost $2 billion. Ali says Fiji has limited natural resources, which is why the tourism sector focuses on sustainability. He says if resources are preserved and sustained, only then can the industry continue to make money.
We expect the visitor numbers to continue growing, but the emphasis of the Fijian government is not on numbers. It's on yield and income.
We now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock market.
Equity markets remain volatile as the slowing Chinese economy and uncertainty over earnings added to the problems of struggling investors. They are already stressed over the effects of tightening US monetary policy and political tensions across Europe from the UK to Italy. As far as data went, US retail sales rose a decent 0.8% in October. However, the greenbacks gains were kept following the latest cautious comments from their economic outlook from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. He emphasized the US economy was strong but had concerns about how long the recovery could last. And closer to home, New Zealand's manufacturing activity in October recorded its highest results in 4 months. The latest survey shows their business performance manufacturing index rose to 53.5 from 51.7 the previous month. This was the highest level of activity since May. And that's it from HFC Bank for this week. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. On to the exchange rates as set this morning. As the volatile foreign exchange market continues to rise and fall, the Fiji dollar has been holding its own. Our dollar rose against the US greenback, the Chinese yuan, the kina, the euro and the yen, showing only a minor decline against the Aussie and Kiwi dollars. Looking at commodities, after days of descent, oil prices went back on the rise at over $56 per barrel. Gold was up at $1,215 per ounce and silver closed up at $14.25 per ounce. In growing Fiji, the Real Estate Agents Licensing Board has moved to a new office in the new Flagstaff Plaza at Flagstaff Suva. Acting Chief Executive Virisila Tuimanu says the relocation was done to improve service to the public and the clients. Tuimanu says the licensing board has plans to ensure the agents and salespeople abide with all the regulations of the Real Estate Agents Act 2006. She says they have plans to extend their organisation to accommodate the market needs as it grows. And that's a wrap from the business desk. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Jackie, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, McKee makes 6 changes, the starting 15. And Wallace and Fortuna competes at Chow Games. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nosori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Kritika from Jax Nosori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nosori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Airways Flying Fijians coach John McKee has made 6 changes to his starting 15 to take on Uruguay this Sunday. Eronisau will get his debut for the Flying Fijians at 11, starting alongside Chale Watumbua and Verniki Ngoneva. Albert Tuisue earns his first start in the white jersey alongside Leone Nakarao in the second row, while fellow Ndrua teammate Mesulame Ndolokoto gets the nod at hooker. The Flying Fijians face Uruguay at 2 a.m. on Sunday in London. Defense and discipline will be the focus for the Flying Fijians in their test match against Uruguay. Coach John McKee highlighting that they'll need to tidy up their act against the South Americans, who will come well prepared, having played 2 warm-up matches. Meli Tavanga has more.
Flying Fijians coach John McKee has laid down the gauntlet to challenge the side to use every opportunities.
We're very much focused on this game against Uruguay. Less than 12 months before we play them in Pool D and in the Rugby World Cup. We want to set a marker this weekend. But although we were disappointed in our result last week, we did take some positive points out of the game, and we want to reinforce those areas this week. I thought last week we defended them all quite well, but we gave away too many penalties in that area. So this week we want to have equal success in defending them all, but without the penalties conceded.
Fiji Mbati star Jared Hayne is being investigated by police over allegations of sexual assault back in September. 27 athletes from Wallace and Futuna are part of the 2018 FMF Chow Games, which started today at the NZ Stadium. The young athletes are competing against 13 other local teams at the 2-day event. Meli Tavanga reports.
Competing for the first time in Fiji is an eye-opener for Team Wallis and Futuna.
We are very happy to participate at the Show Games. It's the first time in Fiji, my team. Very huge for them. They nervous, but they try to perform.
Apart from competing at the event, team manager Jan Likuvalo says they are happy to mingle around with other Fijian athletes.
The parents and the school is very excited and happy to share one moment with the Fijian students.
Meanwhile, Fiji Primary School Athletics President Patrick Bauer says they're overwhelmed with the amount of talent showcased by our young athletes.
Intense competition of a lot of the finals, some of the field events that we haven't featured today, long jump, high jump, and shot put and softball throw will be featured tomorrow so far as field events are concerned, and we have a host of track events.
The Lotok Athletics team leads the overall medal tally with 8 gold, 6 silver and 6 bronze after day 1 of the competition. Nandogarnavosa is currently in second place with 5 gold, 8 silver and 10 bronze, followed by Rao with 5 gold, 1 silver and a bronze. The competition ends tomorrow at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
Yalalevu Club Football got off to a winning start at the 2018 Vodafone National Club Championship, beating Combined Brothers FC 3-0 at the Fiji FA grounds in Vatuanga this afternoon. The bar-based club had the services of Malakai Tiwa. Waisile Sauvinalato got the opener in the 53rd minute. Sitiveni Davuilangi got the second before Josiah Wakalala came off the bench to hammer home the final goal. YCF battles FC City United at 4 p.m. tomorrow, while Combined Brothers will play Kasavu Sports Club at 12 p.m. The Auckland Blues have decided the best way forward is for coach Tana Umanga to take a step back. The franchise deciding to flip their coaching roles, with Umanga now reduced to assistant in charge of defense, while Liam McDonald's being promoted to the top job. Ryan Crotty will replace the injured Sonny Bill Williams in New Zealand's squad for the autumn test against Ireland on Sunday. The rest of the All Blacks team remains unchanged from the side that beat England 16-15 last weekend. That's it from sports. In the world of the weird and wonderful later on, 25-year-old sails around the world with pet hen as company. Details after the break.
Narang golesenya, Obama kita nakas, dorong-dorong bina kami, na radio Fijuan, nando mo.
Ayaw benyana, dito barong na radio Fijuan, nando mo wisi, hindi natoka.
Guelo ilay sa ingatoka,
Rongrobina na Heramakawa na Radio Fiji 1 hingatoka.
Radio Fiji 1, non domo eviti.
New media, the Google Home Hub versus Amazon Echo Show, which is better? Both are smart displays that control your smart home, but that's where the similarities end. In the past few stormy days gave way to fine weather in parts of the country today, and even better weather is expected for the holiday weekend. Across the west, it was a fine day with lots of sunshine reported. Eastwards from Pack Harbour to Suva, there was a mix of light showers, partly cloudy skies and sunny breaks. And up north, Mombasa was cloudy with occasional showers. At sea, the winds are 10 to 15 knots with moderate swells. The next high tide is at 8:22. This is followed by high tide at 2:22 tomorrow morning. Sunrise at 6:22 a.m. Tomorrow it's fine, mostly sunny Saturday is expected across the country with a chance of light showers in Suva and Savu late in the day. Recapping the main stories for tonight, electoral process transparent and credible, says MOG. Transport to be provided for polling tomorrow. An official count continues for 2018 general election. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, are you prepared for the cyclone season? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, a usual sight at the markets. This picture was taken at the Savu market by Patine Simpson. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से। जैसे ट्रेनी नॉर्थ मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।